Between the two of them.
The inside of Coates.
Martin gets too heavily involved.
And that's Whitehead and Coates.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome along. And it is round two of the official Scottish Legends Cars Championship with the Virtual Reality Racing Club. My name is Richard John Neal. Very delighted on co-coms today by Lewis Green, a youngster who is moving into senior racing next year, but whom I met at the Ginetta Scholarship. And one of the things that we do at scholarships is do media interviews, and sat down and had a really good chat with Lewis, and I thought, there's a youngster we can invite up and do some co-commentary. So Lewis, well done on doing that, and thank you for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. I think it's brilliant that I found this opportunity. I think it'll be a brilliant thing to do, and to be doing this with you, especially as someone who's been doing it for so long. So I can't wait.
I've been doing it very long. We won't mention the age thing, but
no, we've got past that. But no, it's going to be a brilliant. I think it'll be a brilliant race today. So
I'm really looking forward to it, and really great to work with you. And as I say, thank you for joining us. It's not everybody does, so we're great to have you along, and we'll get your thoughts on the racing as we dive into the second event of this short campaign, 6 rounds, and we had round 1 last week. Thanks to Jack Oliphant and Becky Aparicio for taking us through that. I did watch the round back, and it was pretty exciting. We've got round 2 here this evening at Croft Circuit, virtually in North Yorkshire. Next week we are on the Anglesey International Track, Oulton Park, for round 4. Becky will be joining me for Anglesey and Oulton Park. Round 5, co-commentator for that, I don't know if I should announce it now, I'm going to anyway, is a gentleman called Glenn Burtonshaw, who races in the Scottish Championship, one of the front runners in there. There is a documentary which has just been released by Scottish Legends on Glenn Burtonshaw. If you keep your eyes on the socials, you will see that documentary about Gerard McCosh and Glenn Burtonshaw. Glenn races Gerard's old car, and you can learn a lot more about the championship from watching that documentary. Round 6, the final round, Knockhill reverse. We had the Knockhill clockwise last week, but we're going to go anti-clockwise for round 6, as the cars do. And joining me on co-coms for that one is the subject of the first documentary, which is already out there on YouTube, and that is Ben Mason, multiple champion in Scottish Legends Cars Racing. And Ben will be joining us for round 6. He is the reigning champion. He won this year's championship after coming back after several years away. So really excited, to be working with Becky again on rounds 3 and 4, and Glenn Burtonshaw on round 5, and then round 6, Ben Mason. So absolutely brilliant. And we've got more VRRC news coming up in the next week or so about our next championship, which is another official series. I won't tell you what it is yet, but every bit as exciting as Scottish Legends Racing. So thank you for joining us, and let's look forward to some great racing over the next few weeks. Schedule, we probably need to look back and see what happened last week, and we're going to start with the championship table. It is Jack Smith top of the tree, as ever he is, or seems to be, in Virtual Reality Racing Club events. But we've got a new kid on the block, Charlie Devlin, who has come in from lots of other championships where he has done well, and he did the same last week. He was a little bit unlucky in race number 1. There was a bit of contact which banged him down to 3rd, but he got driver of the round. He was, I think, 3 podiums on the day, and the third one became a 5th place, I think, in race 3 after judicials. And he is 2nd position in the championship, so very, very strong, and took the race very much to the likes of Jack Smith and Thomas Potter, who is in 3rd place. Scott Bugner had a very consistent opening week. He is 4th from Daniel Heaps, who looked mighty good as well. The young Irishman in 5th place from Oliver Gibson and Alex Forster. Alex's dad, incidentally, raced in the National Championship for Legends. So Alex is looking to be a chip off the old block. He's in 7th. Christian Gilliam. Great for me to be able to commentate on Christian after his injury. He's back. He's in 8th place. Lee Piercy, 9th. And Craig Curtis wrapping up our top 10. The ballast that you can see to do with the Virtual Reality Racing Club ranking. So if you're in the top of the VRRC rankings, you get a little bit of ballast to try and even things out. 11th in the championship jointly, Andy Carroll and Rich Hayden, both regular race winners in our other series. Caden Cook had a strong weekend. He's 13th from Harry Irvin, who has produced the documentaries that I was talking about. Harry very much part of the Scottish Legends setup. Aidan Ingram, another youngster who came through the scholarships that I was talking about earlier on. He's 15th, had a decent week. Cat Potter, 16th from Paul Laramie and Jack Dickerson. Scott Hunter, another name from the Scottish Championship, in 19th place. And Callum Enstone in 20th, 19th, because he is on 5 points. Cian Haig next up. He's very well involved in the Scottish scene. Welcome back to Chris Blakey, who I think was working last week. Chris messaged me and said about that. Chris is on track right now as I look at the timing screen, which is good to see. Kenny Press, have we got Kenny this weekend? I just knew I was going to say weekend at some point this evening. I'm not sure we have. Or John Jones. Looking forward to seeing John on track in the Tunnocks livery, because we might be able to get some product from them at some point. And I think Taylor has some issues getting onto his computer at the moment, so hopefully they will join us before the end of the series. So a fairly lengthy run through the championship table, but nice to give everybody a name check as we look to today's race. Actually, before we look forward, we're going to look back again, and here's a little summary of the virtual overall podium from the round. Jack Smith taking the gold medal virtually. Charlie Devlin in 2nd place, as you can see in the mystery machine. Tom Potter was 3rd, and Charlie Devlin taking, very deservedly, driver of the round. He really bedded himself superbly well into Virtual Reality Racing Club racing. So, well, that is our run through. This is the circuit. One of my favourites is Croft. I've been going to work there for many, many years, and it doesn't matter what you commentate on there, the racing is fantastic because the track offers us a bit of everything, as we're going to see from the upcoming hot lap from championship leader Jack Smith. So these hot laps that Jack delivers, very much the benchmark, and I've said before, they can put people off because he's so quick and smooth. So here we come down past the exit from the holding area into turn 1, which is known as Clairvaux. We're probably going to get some action going on there. No time more to talk about that because we're already through Hawthorne and heading up to the chicane for the first time. So we exit Hawthorne into the chicane, do that as neatly as we can. I tend to call this part the back straight, but in reality, as you'll see, it'll curve around towards the left as we head up towards the right-hander at Tower. This is one of the passing places here. If you're brave, you can do it on the outside if the other drivers give you room. A little bit of lock there from Jack as he exits that and now starts to head down towards the Jim Clark S's. Very little room for error here. For the first part through the second part of the Jim Clark S's. Now down to the very fast sweeping Barcroft corner, which we go now, grabbing the apex, then into the double right-hander. Sunny in is the first one. We'll drift out wide. Again, a little bit of opposite lock there from Jack as he approaches now Sunny out and heads down the straight. Lots of spectator banking. Great view here if you ever do come to Knockhill. And now into the complex. Left-hander. Careful to get off the speed. Stay to the outside here. This is the last part of the complex. Coming now before we dive down into the chicane. You can see Jack keeping it wide, not under pressure, into the slowest corner. A lot of car drivers get the up with the hairpin corner here, but then we accelerate out of that down across the line and complete a lap of 2.127 miles. Croft circuit, it was an aerodrome circuit back in the day, 1:34.59 for Jack Smith, and that is the benchmark time that most of the drivers are going to be looking at. The grid will be a partially reverse grid for our first race of the evening. And okay, Scottish Legends Cars Championship. What are they doing at Croft? They have had several away days over the years at Croft. I can tell you that the drivers that have won there, the likes of Ross Marshall, Derek Pearce, Dave Newsham and Ben Mason have all won there, and we'll talk about them a little bit more later on as we look at lights out for race number 1 of the day here at Croft Circuit. And it is a good start, but this is where we need to hold on to our hats. It's Andy Carroll and Rich Hayden from Lee Piercy coming into Clairvaux for the first time. Boy, the number of times I've seen legends. We had the national legends with us at Croft last year, but it's Andy Carroll out front. Rich Hayden, who told me he was struggling with these cars, is in P2. We got a big sideways moment there, but it's all collected up very well indeed as Andy Carroll continues out of the chicane. They go onto the back straight for the first time. Seen cars tangle here and roll in legends. But let's bring in Lewis Green, because Lewis, we've got a challenge on for the lead, but it's a good clean start from everybody there.
Yeah, I think it was a brilliant start from everybody, keeping it clean. I saw only one person go wide, so I think it was a brilliant start overall. It seems like Andy Carroll did not have it completely closed off during the lead, as Rich Hayden was able to make the most of getting grip around the outside of the round A long corner and was able to get the pass on Andy.
Yeah, he did. Great job by Rich Hayden to get into the lead. As I say, he wasn't overly confident when I spoke to him earlier on this morning about how we race here. There is his teammate, Lee Piercy, in 3rd place at the moment. Christian Gillian running in a strong 4th. Charlie Devlin already up into 5th place. He's the first of the big hitters working his way through. There is the mystery machine, and it's Charlie Devlin already up to 5th place. And we're going to look back. Jack Smith's down in 9th. That's who he's probably going to be looking at, as well as Thomas Potter, who's in 8th behind Alex Forster. So Rich Hayden's still out front. He's going to get a lap lead under his belt as they go down across the line. This is, remember, a 10-lap race, so not a timed race as we've had in other VRRC championships. So we need to keep our eyes. It says race 1, race 2 of 10. It means lap 2 of 10 on the timing board. And the big squabble at the moment is this gaggle, this quartet, all haggling it all out here. Is there's contact because it was sideways for Lee Piercy, and up into 3rd place, reading that superbly, was Charlie Devlin. Now, if you run in a pack, you've always got that issue that can happen, Lewis, but Charlie Devlin came through that very well indeed. He's up to 3rd place and putting Andy Carroll under pressure for P2.
I mean, Charlie Devlin seems like he's had an absolutely brilliant start to the race. Throughout the first lap, he's absolutely been flying up the order. I think he's 100% going to have a challenge for the win of the race, because by the looks of things, he seems like he's got the most pace out of all of them, especially for how much speed he's gained on Andy, especially since the fact that it looks like he's having an easier time passing Andy compared to Rich, which I think proves that Charlie's definitely going to have a strong challenge for the lead of the race later on.
Oh, no, Charlie Devlin gets tagged again. He has had no luck in race 1s for the opening 2 meetings. Now, I mentioned that he, I think, dropped a couple of places through judicial. There will surely be a judicial on that one. He deserved to be up challenging for the lead at that point, but there was contact. And Charlie, where is he? We'll catch up on the timing screen. This is leaving Rich Hayden well out, and Jack Smith has come through all of that, and he's in 2nd place ahead of his brother Oliver Gibson, with Thomas Potter in 4th. Daniel Heaps is in 5th. A spinner there at the hairpin. That is such bad luck for Charlie Devlin. I thought we were going to see him closing down rapidly on Rich Hayden. Hope we could do some sort of fight back as Daniel Heaps goes through the gravel and keeps it going back on. So Heaps loses a couple of places. The young drifting driver from Southern Ireland having another very good run. So it's Hayden, Smith, Gibson, Potter, Lee Piercy 5th, Scott Bugler in 6th, having a consistent run again from Andy Carroll and Chris Blakey. But that was real hard lines, wasn't it, on Charlie Devlin, that contact. A big shame for us watching the race.
I think Charlie got pushed a little bit wide, and he obviously tried to keep it on the track, and it ended up him getting spun. I think Rich will still have competition towards the end of the race, because it seems like Jack has been gaining on Rich, especially through the last lap. but hopefully we can see Charlie gain a few more places since he's still in 9th. He's still in a fight for a few more positions, but I don't think the win will be in him, especially not for race 1, but I think we'll definitely see a good fight for the win, especially for the fact that Jack is gaining on Rich at quite an astonishing rate.
Yeah, I think so too. Apologies to anyone who thinks I might be looking at messaging on the YouTube. I've got enough screens open without looking at that. Jack Oliphant can do it. It's one of the things I don't do, unfortunately. So if anyone does want to ping in verbally, if they are watching it, then that's absolutely fine. As Chris Blakey, in his first outing in the Legends, the black and gold car, having a look, and I've got a feeling, Lewis, Chris might be one of the drivers you could find yourself racing against next year with 750 Motor Club.
Well, I mean, I would love to have a nice challenge. I mean, the goal is to be competitive, and he seems like a very competitive person. So if I'm up there with him, I cannot complain one bit, especially with how good of a driver he seems. Seems like everyone here is very good drivers, but it feels like he's having the easiest time cutting through the field at the minute since he's already up in place, and he seems like he's only going to keep rising. He's only going to keep back.
He's doing very well, isn't he? Thomas Potter doing well too, and having this super dice at the moment with Oliver Gibson. So Ollie, the younger brother of Jack Smith, the championship leader. Jack in P2. The gap is only 9/10 of a second now between first and second. Thomas Potter not getting away from Oliver Gibson here. All of these drivers, you have to say, probably learning Legends cars. I don't think they've done that much sim work on Legends cars. Although looking at the times this afternoon that people have done practicing in the week, I think Thomas Potter has done the most laps out of everybody, if I read that situation correctly. As you watch Scott Bugner, the black and orange car, trying to work his way through. Gibson and Potter still very much engaged in battle. Aidan Ingram up into the top 10, so good stuff for Aidan, with Catherine Potter in 11th. Catherine having a good run. Cian Haig is in 12th place with Caden Cook, Alex Forster, Jack Dickerson and Daniel Heaps. Just having a look a little bit further down. Harry Irvin not with us. Oh yes, he is. He's in 9th place, Harry Irvin, at the moment on the timing screen, but not showing. He's in 19th. So my timing screen and the timing tower slightly different as we get to the halfway point of the race, and we have a battle on for the lead here. Rich Hayden under pressure from Jack Smith as they round Hawthorne, head up towards the chicane again. How do you think that our race leader Rich Hayden is going to feel now?
Well, I feel like Rich is under a ton of pressure at the minute, especially for the fact that Jack has the more pace, and it seems like he's now got the inside of this corner, and yeah, he got past Rich without much worries. I feel like now it's just going to be a case of can Jack eke out that gap without making any mistakes, because I feel like on raw pace, especially through this race, I don't think Rich has it compared to Jack. So we're just going to see if Jack can keep the gap, keep eking it forward without making any mistakes, and if not, and if he makes a mistake, then we'll see if Rich can take the advantage of it.
We'll see if he can do that. I think Rich would be very happy with the podium here, if I'm perfectly honest, if he can hang on to P2. Thomas Potter's trying to close down on him. Thomas, I think, might have his own announcement that he wants to make. Chris Blakey getting it very sideways, having a very good dice with the orange and black of Scott Bugner. Andy Carroll down behind them. All of those guys race winners in other championships with VRRC, and will adapt to these cars very quickly. So Blakey trying to put pressure on Scott Bugner. Cat Potter now into the top 10. Cian Haig running very well in this one, in 11th place at the moment. Charlie Devlin, super recovery from Charlie here, has got up into 6th place, and he is following the car we're just looking at. So there is Lee Piercy, the yellow, blue and white car, and Charlie Devlin in the mystery machine following him. So fair play to Charlie for not giving up on that. And that's the thing with Legends. In the real world, the points are slightly different to what we're doing here. But if you keep on going in real world Legends racing, 200 points for a win, 185 for second, 170 for third. So decent points to be gained for every single finish that you get. And they don't have drop scores, which I think we do have on this championship. But Scottish Legends, I'm not sure if it was mentioned last week, we will be seeing the Scottish Legends in 2 supporting events for the British Touring Car Championship this year. One is at Oulton Park, the other is at Knockhill. So the other thing that strikes me about Legends cars is it's doable for a lot of the drivers that are racing here in esports, as Bugner and Blakey continue this super dice that they're having, with Andy Carroll getting involved as well. Legends cars, particularly the Scottish variant, is affordable, and it's within stepping reach of, I think, many of our club racers that look at what we're doing on VRRC. As Chris Blakey gets a big sideways moment on there, but we saw how he didn't lose that much time by getting sideways, did he there, Lewis? He hung on to it well.
I mean, he hung on to it great. He obviously kept the place, and he's up on Scott. I think Scott's pretty equal on pace with them, so I feel like they will be battling right until the very end of the race, unless something goes wrong. But it seems like these two are having the best fight of the race so far. I feel like they're very much earning their ground, and they are deserving of such a brilliant fight.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job, and our director Steve keeping his eye on it, as well as the other battles around the circuit at the moment. Scott Bugner, the chaser here, the black and orange car, is a real-world MG racer with the VRRC, so you may have seen him on track. Chris Blakey races in the BMWs, which Lewis is looking to make his debut in, our co-commentator this evening, looking to make his debut in next year. And you were telling me 16 mid-year, so hopefully a little bit of testing beforehand and then join in. No pressure mid-season next year.
Yeah, no pressure. I mean, I think the whole goal from next year is to get as much experience as possible, because for someone who I think, especially coming from a 16-year-old, has never done motorsport, it's quite a late entrance. So we're gonna get the car completely sorted out with me and my dad, and we are going to do plenty of testing. I'm gonna make sure that I know how to control the car, especially for the challenge of driving a H pattern. I feel like racing a H pattern is a lot different than many other forms of motorsport, because I feel like a H pattern is quite hard to race with compared to other means of shifting. But the cars have quite stiffer suspension, especially with the packages that you will have to put on the cars. I think, especially compared to these Scottish Legends, it's got a lot stiffer suspension, so it's a lot easier to, I feel like it'll be a lot easier to hold on through corners, especially compared to these Scottish Legends cars. They're a lot more bouncy. They seem to get unsettled a lot easier, which causes mistakes, but it feels like every driver here has been able to keep their own very, very well. So
sorry to cut across you, Lewis. We've got a couple of battles going on, one of which was settled, Charlie Devlin getting ahead of Lee Piercy. And now Thomas Potter up into P2, side by side with Rich Hayden. He's got the move completed. He went for that outside run, which was done before they got to Tower Corner. So Thomas Potter up into second place, but Oliver Gibson closing in on Rich Hayden now. So Rich will try and latch himself onto the back of the teapot in second position at the moment. Oliver Gibson trying to close in, and look, not far back here is Charlie Devlin. I'm banging on about it, but it's a really good recovery from Devlin. Shouldn't be surprised. He's a class act in whatever championships that he enters, and great that he's come and joined us for VRRC's championship as we watch Rich Hayden trying to stay with Thomas Potter. Jack Smith 5.69 seconds down the road. Jack has the fastest lap of the race as well. Excuse me, as they come into the complex. So Gibson closing in now on Rich Hayden. I said Rich would be happy to hang on for a podium. We're on the anti-penultimate lap of the race at the moment. Thomas Potter trying to get away. Do we think Oliver Gibson's got it in him here to make a move? He's reeled them in, and he's going to try and make a move here on Rich Hayden. Rich trying to cover the inside as they go down to Clervaux, and they're both coming out and going to go for the racing line. Hayden goes for the racing line, and Oliver Gibson looks down inside into turn one and momentarily takes the place away. Rich runs a little bit wide there, but I think he's now thinking, okay, podium's gone, let's hang on to fourth place. And he'll see Charlie Devlin closing down his mirrors. We're on the penultimate lap now, lap 9 of the 10. So it's Smith, Parker and Gibson, the 1, 2, 3. Do you reckon Charlie Devlin's going to get close enough to Rich here to grab fourth?
Well, the gap is around 2 seconds, so I feel like, especially for the fact that Charlie is a very fast driver, he will be able to challenge towards the end. I think it's very impressive that Rich was able to make the get the upper hand earlier on in the race by being able to squeeze his way through into first, and I feel like he definitely earns to have a good result here. But it feels like Charlie might be able to challenge, but only time will tell on that one as Rich goes wide.
Yeah, he just makes a little mistake there, and he's going to lose a little bit of ground on Oliver Gibson as a result. So Gibson in third, trying to close down on Thomas Potter. I think we were robbed in this one of the fifth place driver currently having a battle with Jack Smith, as we saw in the opening event at Knockhill last year. But we've got 2 more races to go, remember. We've got another 10-lap heat and then the 12-lap final with the full reverse as we go back to Jack Smith, our race and championship leader, who I know is relishing these cars, as he does every single machine that we put him in, whether it's front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, sports prototype car, GT3, GT4, you name it, he will drive it and drive it very well indeed. And we've actually tightened up the regulations on this one to make less things to change, to try and peg him in. He's got ballast as well, but he's still on the way and down the road is Jack Smith, and doing a super job. I think he celebrated his birthday last week as well. Yes, he did, if I remember correctly. So Jack out front, heading down towards the sunny in and out corners, the double right-hander, so he'll exit here. He's so well clear, 6 seconds clear of Thomas Potter in P2, but this has been a super performance by Jack. Thomas still in P2, Oliver Gibson in third. Rich Hayden not that far behind. Charlie Devlin only a second behind Rich, so could still potentially have time to go through. Virtually the length of the run from the complex back to sunny out is the lead. As we exit the complex now, this is the final corner of the complex. We get a great view of this from the circuit commentary box. And out of the, or into the hairpin for the last time. Very neat and tidy from the man who gave us that super flying lap earlier on. And a little bit of showboating from Jack Smith, who will come across the line and take the checkered flag to win race 4 of the official Scottish Legends official esports series. Jack Smith wins. Well done, Jack. Thomas Potter in P2. Good drive from Thomas. This is his real-life home track. Actually, it is for Jack Smith as well. And Oliver Gibson will be at home here too. He completes the podium in third place. What a great recovery from Charlie Devlin. Off the podium here, but has shown terrific pace. And I think we're going to see some great racing from Charlie over the rest of the evening. He did get the better of Rich Hayden to take 4th. Rich Hayden 5th from Lee Piercy and Scott Bugler. Chris Blakey in 8th ahead of Andy Carroll in 9th. The top 10 completed by Cat Potter. Good drive from Cat. Alex Forster in 11th from Caden Cook. Then it was Daniel Heaps. Following Daniel, it was Christian Gillian from Jack Dickerson and Kian Haig. Paul Laramie 17th from Harry Irvin. And Aidan Ingram 19th from Callum Enstone, who I think had some issues. They are our 20 drivers. We're going to take a quick break with podium interviews as soon as we come back.
I've had a lot of challenges in my life, and Helen was always there, supporting me through everything. Today, we're facing a new challenge. Helen has been diagnosed with a terrible disease. Dementia is nothing less than a worldwide epidemic. Formula One moves fast. By contrast, medical research can be painfully slow. We want to bring some of our Formula One technology into the laboratories. Our charity, Race Against Dementia, will help to accelerate the pace of dementia research. Let's beat dementia together.
So our first set of interviews of the evening, and we'll get straight on and have a word with the driver coming home in third place, completing our podium, is Oliver Gibson. Ollie, well done. Decent race, that.
Yeah, that was all right. Better than last week, so I'll take that. To be fair, it's not hard to really get any worse than last week, but no, it's nice to get a podium. It's just need a bit of confidence. I've had a few tricky rounds recently, not only in sim racing, but in the real world as well. So. Nice to get one under my belt and just have a good race, just clean, nice, fun race for a change. So,
well, last week looked okay. I mean, 8th, 4th, and 7th, and you're 5th in the standings, which, given everybody around and the quality of people we got in VRRC now, that's not too shabby, is it?
Yeah, there's just a few things I was doing, and me and Jack went through it last night, and there's just the odd things that I'm doing wrong, and I I like to get everything right, so it just annoys me when I don't do stuff correctly. But no, it wasn't that bad, but it's just I was expecting better because I did enjoy driving that track, and I thought I had some pace, but obviously just some things don't go your way. And but luckily tonight so far has gone all right.
That's good. Is there much you can change on these, and are you looking at changing anything for race 2, or are you just sort of knuckling down and getting on with what you got?
Oh, it's a pretty fixed setup, so it's just the same again, really. Obviously, starting a bit further back this time, so more in the pack. Obviously, a different mix of drivers now, so I still got the same few people behind me. So I got the same sort of view in my mirror, but up in front is a little bit different. So just the same again, really. Just try and get through the start, and then just see where we end up and go from there. But hopefully, yeah, same again. And if I get the same result or better, then that is fantastic. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Do you know what? I think Knockhill, sorry, not Knockhill, Croft is the one track where I think I see more turn 1 shenanigans than anywhere else in the real world. So I was kind of a little bit nervous of how it was going to go in race 1. But it went well. Most of the contact seemed to be elsewhere when we were getting packs racing, and I did feel very much for Charlie Devlin, who got knocked wide by the look of it. We don't get replays here to be able to watch. Obviously, there will be in judicials, but I felt for him. But yeah, the turn 1 was actually quite good here.
It looked it. My POV, I didn't really see much, but from what I've heard and sort of on the track map, I could see it wasn't that bad. So hopefully we continue that. But I'm sure, obviously, when we get to that third race and it's a lot more mixed up and stuff, that full reverse grid, it'll start getting a bit hectic. But luckily, we've got 10 laps till then to think about it. So we'll just see. I just hope it's cleaning it.
Just out of interest, what was said at the driver briefing? I mean, did Rich sort of say, behave yourselves and whatever?
He just says the usual stuff every week. Just be mindful. We always take the mick out of him for that. So little bit of Rich bingo in the briefing, but no, it's just the same usual stuff. Just cold brakes, cold tyres, and all that. So, but I think everyone knows. Obviously, it is a bit of a bottleneck. Well, quite a bit of a bottleneck into turn 1. So I think everyone sort of behaves himself there, but we'll see if that continues. I think one race under the belts and they'll be ready. So we'll see how it goes.
Hope so. Well done on the podium, Molly. Great to catch up with you. Well, it's first podium for the Legends Scottish Championship for you. So hopefully it's the first of many, and we'll catch up with you later on.
Hopefully. Cheers.
Oliver Gibson taking third place. Second goes to the driver we all know as the Flying Teapot. Thomas Potter, how are you this evening, young sir?
Absolutely buzzing with it, well, the whole entire day, in fact, as I'm sure you probably might end up knowing already.
First of all, we'll come to your news a little bit later on. There was a bit of a health scare last week. You okay after that?
Yeah, I'm okay. I was like, it seems to be the one race where I do good. I seem to have a problem. I'm not wishing it on myself again, but if that could happen and I can get another win, would not mind too much. So yeah, but my health's back to all right now. I'm not really sure fully on what happened, but apparently build up of anxiety and stress caused it, but it's fully all right now, and well, can't wait for race 2.
That's good. And your news?
Well, Fiesta Junior around Brighton Park, I've just had an amazing day thanks to my friend Thomas Harper for actually letting me borrow the car, otherwise I would have probably been running around the track. But thanks to him for that, and it was an incredible day as well as that. Well, obviously thank you to Max Coates for being the instructor for the day, who I feel bad for him, is I don't think he ever left that Fiesta, because me and Thomas were straight in, out, and obviously still a thanks to Scott over at MDD, as I would have continued with them in the Genettas, just look out of our fortune that happened to made me do the switch, but the switch is gonna enable me a whole different level of skill, which is gonna be even incredible. So thanks to everyone who's been involved in that, and well, I can't wait to get on with Fiestas now.
Well, it's great. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, if anyone from VRRC is listening, get your commentators booked for next year, because I'd love to be involved a little bit more with the Junior Championship than we were this year. I know it's on the Fun Cup package for next year, So we're going to see some great endurance racing, as well as Fiesta Juniors and Fiesta Seniors and all the things that are badged together. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you there, Thomas. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That race, the traffic opened for you a little bit. It was great driving from you. You had to obviously work to get past Rich, but fairly open race.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know quite what happened. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was still thinking about the Fiesta day, and then I was like, first corner, I've got past loads of people. The next corner, I've lost it all to them all again. Oh, now I've got back past him. So I was like, it was kind of just, let's just say the racing gods helped me through. So, pretty good. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with what happened. Whatever happened, it happened, and I'm pretty pleased with it.
Got to do it again now in race 2. That's the key thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And to put you under pressure, you won race 2 last week, so you got to do the same again.
Give him a best shot. I mean, if maybe Charlie Devon wants to come off the track again, and maybe Jack Smith can too, I might be able to have a little chance then.
Yeah, they're going to be difficult guys to beat, aren't they? Thomas, well done. We'll hopefully catch up with you a little bit later on. Thomas Potter in P2. Let's have a word with our race winner, and a regular occurrence is having a chat with race winner Jack. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you, mate. Yeah, not too bad race. That it was just trying to avoid any carnage, and yeah, just about got away with it. I had a little tap coming into Sunny Inn, so yeah, quite happy I got away with that. And yeah, we just pushed on, caught up to Rich, and then just tried to pull away then, and yeah, job was good enough for that. So yeah, super happy.
Obviously, we were kind of hoping we were going to see yourself and Charlie go wheel to wheel in that one. It didn't come off, but let's just turn the clock back. I didn't get a chance to ask you, obviously I wasn't commentating last week, but Jack and Becky spoke to you about Charlie Devlin, who's a very good addition to this grid, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he obviously knows what he's doing, doesn't he? So yeah, it was a proper good race in race 1 at Knockhill. That was a real fun race. I think one of the funnest races I've had in VRRC. So if we can get that for the rest of the season, that'll be spot on, I think. So yeah, fingers crossed we can get some of that in the next 2 races, and yeah, maybe we can have a 4-way battle for the lead of the race for this next one, which would be amazing. So yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes out for that, and I'm sure it will happen at some point for sure. It's a ridiculous season, this, isn't it? Really, it's so much fun. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
We've only got 90 seconds before we go racing. I'm just going to say, have you had a busy week? You've been coaching and working. What have you been up to?
Just working for me, working with Rich to sort this new Formula Ford out for the new upcoming series. So
are we allowed to mention that, are we?
I don't know. Rich put a thing in the chat, so I'm assuming. Yeah, it's an upcoming series. It's really fun. So yeah, we're just getting the setup sorted for that. So that's been a lot of fun. So yeah, it should be really exciting to look forward to that. So yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I'm glad we're on board. We'll put you in touch with the guy that's running it, so that runs it for real as well. So yeah, have a little bit of a natter with him and get some background, which is good. I'm going to let you get away. Hopefully we'll speak to you a bit later on, Jack, but congratulations on the win, and we'll see you later.
Cool, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, see you, Jack.
So that podium interview complete. Ollie Gibson third, Tom Potter in second, Jack Smith in first position, taking third win of the campaign. Lewis, your thoughts as we look towards race 2?
Well, I feel like Jack was extremely strong during that race. I felt like he put every foot right, and it was kind of just hot laps to the end, wasn't it? It must have felt quite surreal for him, especially for the fact of he got the lead so early on in the race, and then I feel like he just kept it so well under control. I feel like if he keeps that going throughout this evening, I feel like it should only keep going better and better for him.
I think so too. Good luck, everybody. Here we go, race 2. Another 10-lapper, and it's a reverse grid. Once again, away we go with Caden Cook and Daniel Heaps on the front row. Alex Forster already nudging up into third place ahead of Kat Potter, who is in P4. Chris Blakey, though, is in 5th, and this is, remember, a partially reverse grid. Daniel Heaps gets out in front. Could be a difficult man to catch from there. The young Irish driver ahead of Caden Cook. The reverse grids, of course, very prevalent in Legends. I think that is either Rich, Hayden, or his teammate Lee Piercy, who had a little bit of a knock and a spin and drops down the order. As I say, Legends Racing traditionally has reverse grids. There will be a ballot for race 1. We reverse the balloted grid positions for race 2, and then add the points together from races 1 and 2 and have a reverse grid final. We do that bit here. but at the moment the software doesn't allow us to do a ballot and a reverse, although they are looking at seeing if we can do that in future competition. So a slight difference in traditional Legends cars racing here in the UK to what we have in terms of format, and you can see already going well is Charlie Devlin up into 4th place. So Devlin slices through and past Chris Blakey up into 4th position. And okay, lack of fortune the first one, he was still quite a way back with 4th position on the in race 1. So the reverse grid, or the partial reverse, meant that he started a fair way back. So it's a really good determined start from Charlie Devlin, already up into P3. And Alex Forster is the blue car in front of him. We're talking about the turquoise mystery machine, which is in front. Let's hope that he can not get too encumbered by other people in this one, but it's Dan Heaps that will lead them around from Caden Cook and Alex Forster. And again, this is the great thing about reverse grid racing, drivers getting the chance to soak up that pressure of leading for the first time perhaps, or just get used to that scenario, as we watch Chris Blakey following Scott Bugner. Those two tied together again, as they were all the way pretty much through race number 1. And of course with the reverse grid they stayed together in this one. And it looks to me like Scott Bugner is trying to just hang on at the moment to Charlie Devlin. He's going to have a look on the inside as they come up towards Tower. Nothing quite doing there. Here's the rear view from the mystery machine. And yeah, Scott Bugner wants to get close to that Scooby-Doo livery if he possibly can on it. Now, Jack Oliphant said I was going to have loads of Scooby-Doo jokes, but I don't. So Jack will, you can email them to us or maybe message us if you want us to go through them. But Charlie Devlin trying to challenge down on Alex Forster at the moment with Daniel Heaps out front. Jack Smith already up to 6th. Chris Blakey 7th from Thomas Potter, ahead of his sister Kat. So Thomas making decent progress in this one as well. A little bit of a wide run there for Charlie Devlin. And he will see 2 cars behind him now. There is Jack Smith. So are we going to get the Jack and Charlie show again here? Lewis, I hope we will.
Well, I think the one Scooby-Doo joke I've got is that I think it's a mystery how Charlie's keeping it so under control. I mean, he seems to be perfectly cool in the situation. He's being challenged by many people in the grid. Now being challenged by Scott, Alex, and now Jack creeping up, now taking the fastest lap. I feel like Charlie really just wants to fight his way up, as he just made it into 3rd, going into lap 3. But I feel like he's doing a brilliant job keeping his cool, especially from his first race, where he got very unfortunate. I feel like he's going to be trying very hard to fight back, but at the same time he's going to try and keep his nerves settled so he doesn't make any mistakes.
Fingers crossed. He's certainly doing a good job in P3 at the moment, trying to close down on Caden Cook, who's doing a mega job at the moment in 2nd, and Daniel Heaps out front, 1.4 seconds clear, throws the car into Tower sideways. Dan Heaps will be chuffed with that. The youngster who's learning his drifting skills as well, as Jack Smith now tries to hunt down on Alex Forster. Alex in the blue car. Alex, a relative newcomer. He's done a couple of series with us at VRRC, but a relative newcomer compared to many of the other drivers. And a nice tight line there. Sees the championship leader go up the inside, runs wide on the exit. Let's see whether we're going to get the cut back on the inside for Alex Forster, who has a look that Jack Smith's got enough momentum to just hang it round on the outside and hangs on to position. Scott Bugner coming into the mix as well. We'll have a go at Alex Forster. Looks down the inside as they come into the complex. We go on board with Scott, so it's Forster immediately in front of us. Out of the complex they come now. Here's the run down into the chicane. Watch the inside line here. Traditionally, if there's a gap on the inside, you can try and throw the car down the inside at the hairpin and try and go through. But I don't think Scott had enough momentum to be able to do that, but he has got laps where he can do that. It's Thomas Potter behind him at the moment trying to get involved in the mix. Heaps from Cook and Charlie Devlin. And Charlie right with him and has got P2. Charlie Devlin up into 2nd place now. And Caden Cook, I think it might have been a little bit of a rub between the pair as they went past. And now Charlie Devlin has got a car between himself and Jack Smith once again. Smith will try and deal with Caden Cook as he goes along the straight or left-hand curve as they come up towards Tower. And Smith's got the power into Tower and will take the position here, grabs the inside line. Caden Cook could now very much learn from watching Jack Smith, who's up into 3rd place. Jack will try and hunt down on Charlie Devlin. As I say, these two had an epic race. Don't like using the word epic too much, but it was a super battle they had in race 1 at Knockhill clockwise last week, and I think a repeat of that would be very, very welcome indeed. Daniel Heaps might fancy that as well, because the race leader, if second and third get embroiled, that could help Daniel, because it will compromise their lap times a bit, Lewis. And Daniel Heaps doing a sterling job out front at the moment, the lead out to 2 seconds.
Well, it seems like Daniel has definitely kept it under control so far. It feels like Charlie and Jack are going to be chipping away at his time, especially since how competitive they seem. I love how nimble these cars seem, especially with how strong the slipstreams seem to be, especially coming down that pit straight, that start-finish straight. I feel like it creates tons of amazing overtaking opportunities into the first sector, into the first few turns. I feel like this is where we've seen some of Charlie's best moves this race, has been into this first sector, because of the brilliant amount of grip that's seen on the outside of these corners. It's just helping him get the car hooked and helping him get past a lot of the field.
Yeah, you're right. There's grip wherever you can find it at this track. And the great thing about Legends, these the Legends cars 5/8 scale replicas of the American cars from the 1930s. And the fact that they're 5/8 scale, and they haven't changed in the 30 or so years they've been with us in the UK, is they haven't outgrown the circuit. So many other formulas get faster and faster and faster. They don't overtake as a result. The Legends have got faster over the years, but not to such an extent that they can't overtake anymore. So what you're seeing here is pretty much what you will see at the Scottish Championship Legends Racing, or the National Championship, or anywhere in the world where you can watch Legends cars racing. So it's Heaps from Devlin. The gap's come down by 2/10. Jack Smith only half a second or so behind Charlie Devlin at the moment. Jack Smith's got fastest lap again. So we're going to have a look now. Steve, our director, rightly having a look at Jack Smith closing in. Jack in the... I was trying to remember if there was a Scottish driver running a yellow and blue livery, and there was back in the day, but I can't for the life of me remember who it was. Certainly don't remember any turquoise liveries and no Mystery Machine liveries, but that may well inspire one of the Scottish drivers to have a go, and it would be lovely to see Charlie Devlin come out and race in a similar livery in a Legends car for real. We've got two mates from Cars, of course, with James Newbury on the circuits for real. So another cartoon car would be very, very good, and I think that's a great play, the Mystery Machine. But at the moment, it's as we get some grass cutting going on through the chicane, it is Charlie Devlin under pressure from race 1 winner Jack Smith. So Smith putting the pressure on. Heaps still up front. This is the battle for P2, and I'll tell you what, Lewis, how are you going to call this?
Well, I feel like this is going to be the best battle for ages. While Charlie is throwing his car into the corners, I feel like this is where Jack's going to try and make most of it, especially since Charlie's being able to make his tyres smoke from how much he's throwing his car in. It's really going to give Jack the upper hand going into the last 4 laps of the race, especially since Jack seems to have the slight upper hand coming into this evening. Oh, it seems like Jack is now going down the inside, pushing Charlie, and is able to go alongside him while Charlie's trying to hang on around the outside, able to go side by side, while Charlie's just able to cut back in front.
Yeah, a little bit of side-to-side contact between the pair of them, and Jack, I think maybe just being the gentleman there, backing out a bit, not taking advantage of that little side swipe that we had, little knock. He'll be mindful of the fact that there are judicials tomorrow morning. Is he going to have a look now on the inside? They're still chasing. The gap's gone out to 2.6 seconds. So Daniel Heaps is the leader. Heaps looking for his first win of the campaign. He had 2 second places last Tuesday, so we know he's got the pace in these Legends cars, and he is away and down the road. We go on to lap 7. It's Heaps from Devlin. There is Daniel Heaps out front. Devlin's still under pressure. Jack Smith in third. Caden Cook, an excellent 4th place still, but under massive pressure now from Thomas Potter behind. And in fact, Thomas makes the move as we say that through Hawthorne. Potter up into 4th. Caden Cook in 5th place from Scott Bugler and Chris Blakey. Caden Cook maybe marking himself out to be a potential driver of the round, which we'll discuss in our own private chat on the messenger that we have. As through on the inside now goes, Jack Smith goes through. Now we're going to get a cutback here from Charlie Devlin. He's managed to exit the corner slightly tighter as they head down into the Jim Clark S's. They're still side by side, and Jack Smith hangs on to it. There's half a gap there as they come through Barcroft. Jack Smith goes wide. Charlie Devlin trying to come back into P2. Launches down the inside into Sunny. Great racing from the pair of them. Still side by side they come. This is into Sunny now. And a little bit of opposite lock there will scrub off some speed for Devlin as they come through. Sunny out. down in towards the complex. Great Legends cars racing from the back. I'd love to see him do this for real. Maybe the Scottish Championship can sort them out higher cars and a good deal to come and race. Now Devlin's got the inside line here as they come out of the complex. And is he going to consolidate this? He is for the moment, and it's Devlin still P2. Daniel Heap's still out front. The lead very nearly out to 3 seconds. And Charlie Devlin with great racing, super defence, and great response to Jack Smith throughout that lap to get back into P2. They were side by side for so long. That is an absolute masterclass of sim racing and Legends cars racing from this pair. And it's the Mystery Machine still in P2. Valuable points here could be held by Charlie Devlin. We're on lap 8 of this 10-lap race. Thomas Potter is in 4th and closing in on this pair. Then behind them we've got Caden Cook, Scott Goodner, Chris Blakey 7th, Alex Forster in 8th, Oliver Gibson 9th, Kat Potter still in the top 10, Cian Haig is in 11th, Cian having a good race, ahead of Christian Gillian and Harry Irvin, who is next up, but down the inside again, while I'm really off the positions, goes Jack Smith into P2, but has he left the gap? Have we got the momentum here from Charlie Devlin to get back in? You can see in the distance, Devlin's having another go, and this is almost a carbon copy of the previous lap. As they go into Barcroft, they're side by side. Smith goes wide again. A little bit of opposite lock once again. And back goes Charlie Devlin down the inside. What a race this is, Lewis Green.
I think this is probably some of the best racing I've ever watched, especially the best racing I've ever commentated over. I think Charlie is defending this beautifully, especially since Jack seems to be placing his car in all the right places while Jack tries to fight his way down the inside. Charlie always seems to find the grip on the outside of these corners, and it seems like this is really where he's getting people, is just how confident he is in his car. It feels like Charlie's always placing his car in the right place just to get the slight upper edge on Jack.
Yeah, very well called. He's trying absolutely everything, isn't he, to get past, but Devlin every time. And this is the great thing about this layout. It can give us some super racing. We saw the American world champion come over and race in the Nationals with us, Trevor Krause, 5 times champion in New England in the years, only 19 years of age as well. A little bit of an off there for Chris Blakey, who is going to recover as we come back. But yeah, Trevor Krause, first time out at this track, took a win in Will Gibson's hire car on the Toka support. And we had some super racing there. And the Scottish Esports legends doing exactly the same here. And this time, it's a different tack from Jack Smith. Looks round the outside. Is he going to be able to hang on to this? Good racing as well from Devlin. Gives him room on the outside. Very respectful stuff from the pair of them. And Smith is looking basically for the line on the start of this move that we saw Devlin having the previous one. It didn't work out for him. Again, super defence here from Devlin. I'm going to give a little shout out to Daniel Heaps, who's done a super job keeping his head down out front. And he's still there. This is the penultimate lap of the race. 3.5 seconds clear is Daniel Heaps, looking for his first win of the campaign. Meanwhile, Devlin still in P2. Here comes Jack Smith again. And it's the outside run here as they come into the complex. Is he going to be able to? He can't get it again. He's going to go wide. Maybe go for the dive down the inside into the hairpin if he can do it. If there's a gap, can he do it here? The gap is very well covered by Charlie Devlin. Goes deep into the hairpin. Now, Smith might try and go for the run out of the corner. He can't quite do that as the race leader goes on to the last lap. But look, we've got black and blue of Thomas Potter joining in as well. Potter in 4th place. 5th is Scott Budner, a little way back. But it's effectively a 3-car train now for P2 with Daniel Heaps on his last lap. Should be on his way to taking the win. Now, has Jack Smith settled for 2nd place here? 3rd place rather. I don't think he can, because he's got Thomas Potter right behind him.
I feel like Jack's going to be pushing with all his might now. I feel like he realises how much grip Charlie is finding on the circuit, and I feel like he's going to try and... I think he's going to try and go down the inside, especially since the win's obviously out of the question because Daniel's been able to keep it well under control. The threat from Thomas behind, especially if he tries to go for another move on Charlie, could be costing him of the podium if Thomas can get his way through both of these two, or even just Jack.
Yeah, very, very well called indeed. Daniel Heaps, though, is our race leader. Does a little bit of drifting there in the 09 car, and the young Irishman's going to take his first Legends win here. There's a Legends Championship in Ireland. He might fancy having a go in the Legends cars in Ireland, which are run by Paul O'Brien. Maybe we could do an Irish Championship as well at some point. which would be very good to do. With rounds at Mondello and Anglesey, they race all over the place as well to the Irish drivers, even ply their trade in the National Championship. But Daniel Heaps is going to take his first win with us, and he's enjoying himself, as you can see. So too, I think, is Charlie Devlin with P2. Here we come, down towards the line, and it is a win for Daniel Heaps. Well done, Daniel. Charlie Devlin, super drive into second position from Jack Smith, who equally did a great drive to put him under pressure. Good, clean stuff from them. Thomas Potter through for 4. Scott Bugner is 5th from Chris Blakey and Oliver Gibson. Caden Cook 8th at the end. Great drive from Caden, particularly in the early stages. Alex Forster 9th. Cat Potter into the top 10 in this field. Great result for Cat. Kian Haig, he's going to be one to look out for drive of the round. Gets up to 11th from Harry Irvin. Great drive from Harry too. Christian Gillian 13th from Jack Dickerson. And then Rich Hayden, Callum Enstone 16th, ahead of Lee Piercy it was, who had that off in the early stages. Aidan Ingram in 18th and Andy Carroll 19th from Paul Laramie. That's our second race done. 1 to go. The evening's going far too quickly. We're going to have a quick breather with this break and then have a podium interview, or 2 or 3 in just a moment. So for the second time this evening, back with our interview. So I'm just going to throw everything up in the air and do things differently to what we normally do. I'm going to start with our race winner and come to Daniel Heaps, because Daniel, we didn't get to see a lot of you in that. You had your head down, you built the lead. We were saying there was a chance that the two guys were going to engage. They did, and you made the most of that. You got your head down, tore away, and entertained us with some real sideways stuff on the last lap. Many congratulations on the win. Tell us a little bit about your experience of that race.
It was yeah, it was a good race. It was, when I saw it was after the first race, I hit into the tire. I was like, all right, I could be in a good position for race 2. So I ended up being in a good position. I started on pole, so going down, I said I just need to keep my head down, keep the pace up, and don't make any mistakes, mainly.
I think these cars suit your driving, so I'm not saying that other ones don't, but these cars particularly seem to suit you. And we're going to have to get you down to Mondello and talk to Paul O'Brien, who runs the Irish Legends Championship.
Yep. Paul, if you're looking at this, give me a legend.
I don't think he'll give you one, but he'd certainly talk to you about getting you a go. And we've got some very quick drivers in Irish Legends, the Barrable brothers, and so on and so forth, that are very, very quick. So, yeah, really good stuff. And we knew you had the win in you. 2 second places last week. How does this compare with the other stuff that you've done with VRRC?
Yeah, I like these cars a lot. They're much more aggressive. I like cars that you can swing around if you need to. So they're good crack there.
That's good, isn't it? And what have you got on sort of season-wise? I guess the racing season's kind of pretty much done for you. So is it sort of drifting and practice now over the winter in the real world?
I've stopped the drifting. I have actually. Well, not stopped. I've stopped trying to go professional, and I'm trying to go professional in racing now. I am.
Okay.
So I'm racing in the junior minis. The junior mini season's over now, so I'm able to actually race in the simulator now. So yeah,
that's good. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I'll find out if there's a taster day going on anywhere at Mondello and ping you on Facebook to Paul. But super win, mate. Well done, and good luck for race 3. Daniel Heaps.
Thank you.
Very well done. Nice to catch up with Daniel again. And we go to P2 this time as we're going down the order. And Charlie, first of all, congratulations. A great race. Super racecraft there with yourself and Jack Smith. Clock back, first of all, though. what happened in race 1? We didn't get a replay, but it did look like you were pushed out and down, and then you did a super recovery. Is that what happened?
Yeah, race 1 didn't exactly go to plan. Yeah, just on the way to Sunny on lap 1 or 2, I think someone just went a bit wide, and I just could basically just completely rammed off the road. Of course, it's not ideal, but to get back to P4, it's still a decent haul of points, and yeah, I think that was the best I could have got out of that, really.
It was a mega result, mate. Very well done indeed. And that race you just had with Jack, I mean, Lewis Green, who's commentated with me, we both agree it was probably one of the best races we've seen in VRRC. And how was that? How was that battle for you?
It was good. Originally, I thought I got to P2 and then thought, right, let's get my head down, see if I can get up to Daniel. And then I saw in my mirrors Jack making moves too quickly, should I just say? So yeah, I knew he was going to catch. I sort of thought on lap 6, I'm not going to catch Daniel just because the pace wasn't quick enough. So I kind of felt, yeah, I've got to fight Jack because I can't exactly let him go.
Do you now need to talk to Jack and say, look, when someone's in front, let's work together and catch them and then have the sort out?
Yeah, I was thinking that. So I saw him lift off a few times by me into turn 1 and after like the long straight. So he obviously thought about working together, and then I sort of realised we're not going to catch, so we might as well fight for position. So Jack went past, and then yeah, we basically fought all the way to the end from there.
So your involvement, you're in and around the Legends paddock, I think the Nationals at times, is that right?
Yep.
Tell us about your relationship with the paddock and how things manifest themselves.
Myself and my dad go to quite a lot of Legends rounds, and we're quite involved with 2 mates, so James Newbury, who I know you know as well.
Yeah, I gave him a shout. I did give him a shout in that race.
Yeah, and then we also do some stuff with Will Gibson, Marcus Pett, Tyler Reed, Graham Butler. So we're quite involved with all of it. It's a really nice paddock to be in, and yeah, just a good environment throughout a race season.
We definitely need to see the Mystery Machine for real on track. Is that something that you're working towards?
Possibly, maybe in the long time future. Well, we'll have to see.
It would be, yeah, that'd be absolutely mega if that was the case. I'm just looking at the front fender. Number 23 I was trying to work out if there was another car liveried like yours and like Jack's in the Scottish Championship, because I wanted to bring it back to Scottish Championship focus as well. Scottish Championship's actually mega. I know James went up for the last round and was looking forward to that. 23 was Lance Gold back in the day, I seem to remember, and his son raced Legends as well. So you've got a little bit of history behind the number 23, which you probably didn't know about, but me being very long in the tooth would say that. Points-wise, again, race from the back. You seem to be very quick in the early stages of getting through, so you're obviously looking forward to race 3 again.
Yeah, I guess I've got to get a bit lucky with the traffic. Hope no incidents occur. I've got quite unlucky this season with some incidents, so yeah, let's hope we breeze that under the carpet and yeah, get back to the front in this one.
Nice one, Charlie. Well done. Great race for P2. Your first win's not far away, I'm sure of that. Maybe even race 3. Best of luck for that one, and well done again, and thanks for chatting to us.
Thank you.
Charlie Devlin, P2, and P3, Jack Smith, second chat of the evening. That was a bit of a race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's quality, wasn't it? That's what we all wanted, I think. Everyone in the chat as well. I was just looking in, everyone's loving it. So yeah, it's quality. So yeah, no, it's mega. And yeah, we're trying to get past Charlie, and I've tried everything, and he just kept getting the inside for that right-hander before the hairpin, and that's what I needed to get, and I just couldn't get it off him. So yeah, noted now for the last race, and yeah, we'll see what we can do going forward.
I mean, classic Croft, really, classic Croft.
Yeah, exactly. You need that inside before the hairpin for sure, and then it's sorted, isn't it? So yeah, it's but yeah, it's quality around here, and yeah, not necessarily my favourite track, but it's always good for racing and stuff. So yeah, really cool.
So I was saying in the commentary, these Scottish Legends is probably for guys that are aspirational racers. We've got a lot of real world racers here, but for guys that are aspirational like yourself, it's a doable step, I think, particularly to go and race in the Scottish Championship. Yeah, either at Knockhill or one of the away rounds next year. I think they've got Oulton Park as well. I can't remember where the other one is, possibly Anglesey. But it's doable. You know, does it make a difference mentally for you racing in an esports championship? Something that you could potentially get into easier than say GT racing in terms of budget?
I don't know. I just really I take each race as it comes. Don't I? I don't really like to big up either one or the other really.
No.
Yeah, so I just sort of go into it as it is. So yeah, each race is a fresh slate for me. So yeah, I just take it as it is, and we see what the race holds for us. And yeah, it seems to be quite good this time. I really would like to have a go in these sometime in real life, because I feel like they'd be so much fun just blasting around in one of these. I've seen them on track before and they look so cool. So yeah,
well, the guy you need to talk to, if you're not messaging already, is Harry Irvin, who is in the championship and looks after the Legends experience up there. And I can vouch for that. My son did it. You know, we went up and you get very well looked after. So he's the guy to talk to there. So I'll give a good plug out for. It's such a lovely space, Knockhill, to go to. It's a great track, and you get so well looked after. So yeah, if not only you, Jack, if anyone else wants to have a go, it's not an advert. It's you know, we're not on freebies or anything like that. It was paid for. We bought it, and it was a great experience. You know, so I thoroughly recommend that. But yeah, a lot of work to do. Sorry, mate.
I was just saying, I think I probably will end up doing that at some point, because it's so fun to drive on there. Even on the sim, I feel like it was such a lap in real life as well. So yeah. Yeah,
and we need to get you out for a race as well. We're getting shouts from Steve Rightly that we're getting on to race 3. I don't know if you need to get away, but you and Charlie hopefully will be at it again, working through the field and giving us another great race here.
Yeah, that's a plan, Richard. Hopefully we can provide that, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. So yeah, rest of the season is going to be like this, I hope.
I hope so as well. Jack Smith, thanks very much. Well done on your second podium of the evening, and good luck to you and everybody for race 3, which is upcoming. Jack Smith. So Jack Smith third, in second, and Dan Heaps takes the win in race number 2. We're looking forward to race 3, and should be another Lewis Green, I think.
I feel like this is going to be just as good as the rest, especially with the full reverse grid on the third race. I feel like it's going to be a great time to see how the front runners can see how their wheel-to-wheel racing is fighting for the pack. I feel like it'll be a great show of their wheel-to-wheel action, especially against other cars.
I think so too. The thing that's throwing me is the reverse grid saying Callum Enstone P1. He's actually on the right of shot as we look at it. So it's kind of the other way around to what we get normally. Legends, of course, normally have a rolling start. Again, something that we can't cater for in the virtual world at the moment, but who knows for the future. But it doesn't really matter, because once we get going, everything is frantic. And this is the one we're worried about as I go to Clervaux for the first time. Good luck, everyone. We are away for race 3 now, and it's lights out. And Paul Laramie and Callum Enstone will lead them away. Rich Hayden's got a decent position in this one as well. And so they all go down into turn 1. So I've probably watched in excess of 50, 60 Legends Cars races at Croft over the years, Scottish and national. It's a good start by Paul Laramie from Callum Enstone. Lee Piercy in 4th place after disappointing first race. We've got a couple of cars off. I think that is Rich Hayden. Is it in the mix as well? It is getting caught up, and Rich will drop away from a decent point scoring position in this one as Paul Laramie goes through. Andy Carroll up into 2nd place, ahead of Callum Enstone on the inside. Carroll in the orange and blue car, Enstone in the green and black machine in 3rd place, tucks back in. Then it's Aidan Ingram running well in P4. Lee Piercy in 5th place. Lee Piercy 4th now, in fact, ahead of Aidan Ingram. Christian Gillian next up too. Alex Forster 7th, and Charlie Devlin already up into 8th place, ahead of Ollie Gibson and Jack Smith in P10. And that start went better than we had reason to think it might do. So well done, everybody, on a good first few corners. Good stuff, Lewis.
I mean, Charlie's just had a phenomenal first half lap, I think. I assume he's made the best of the incidences down at the first couple turns, and he's absolutely fired his way through the pack. He's made it up into P7. I think this is his redemption round for not winning the past couple rounds, especially since he got unfortunate during the first round. I think this is his chance to try and fight for a win, especially since compared to the rest of the grid ahead of him, he is I think he's got the upper hand as far as pace goes.
He's looking very good here, isn't he? And this one saw kind of these two dicing in this race from the back puts me in mind of, I can't remember what year it was, but Scottish Legends Cars Championship, and it was the second year that Carol Brown won the championship. She's, in my mind, I've said this many, many times, I make no apology for saying it, Carol Brown I think is the best female racer we've had in the UK, won 2 Legends Championships in Scotland with different teams, and bear in mind that, you know, yeah, we've had women drivers win championships, like Alice Powell won Bart Renault and so on and so forth, but Carol Brown won 2 Scottish Legends Championships. It's a reverse grids every meeting to come through and win. But what was putting me in mind of here with Charlie and Jack coming through together was the last round of the second year she won it and had this great battle with Ross Marshall, who won races here at Knockhill. Carol wasn't one of our winners at Knockhill. Ross Marshall was. He himself was a former Scottish Legends Cars champion who moved up into, I think, did he do Clio's? Derek Pearce did Clio's. Ross was in the Mini Championship, the Mini Cooper JCWs recently, and went back to Legends this year with the Nationals. But just to give you an idea of how good Scottish Legends can be, we've had the likes of Derek Pearce, who raced in International Sports Cars Carrera Cup over here, multi-race winner at Knockhill in the Scottish Championship, and Dave Newsham, of course, who was a British Touring Car Championship race winner. His son Callum, racing in TCR these days, came through the Scottish Championship as well. So there's a real strong pedigree from Scottish Legends that have made it to the very top levels of motorsports. We've got Charlie Devlin now having a go at Callum Enstone on the outside. Is he going to be able to do this? Some of the floppy markers would have gone for a Burton, and nips down the inside. That was a lovely cut through on the inside of Enstone, and Jack Smith realises that he's got to do the same thing as well. No slouch though is Callum Enstone. Good drive for him in 5th place at the moment. Oliver Gibson in 6th, Christian Gillian next up, Thomas Potter 8th. Potter's picking up some decent consistent points this evening as well. Alex Forster is next up from Scott Bugner. Daniel Heaps is 11th, and he scored well in the 2 races as well. And then we have Scott Bugner, Caden Cook and company all looking forward to trying to make their way through. But Paul Laramie's still out front at the moment from Andy Carroll, with Charlie Devlin in 3rd, trying to hunt down on them. But Charlie will have Jack Smith now itching to close up on him. Andy Carroll in P2 will come into shot now. There he is in the blue and orange car. I think he's going to be under pressure very, very soon. Paul Laramie doing a super job though out front as well. So Paul, race leader from Andy Carroll. The sharp-eyed amongst you, if you weren't with us last week, will notice that we've got an extra 2 laps in this one to allow the chance for the top drivers to work their way through. That is exactly as happens in the Scottish Legends Championship. Sideways moment there, throwing the car in and looking at the inside, but a little bit of a tap on the side of Andy Carroll's car here as Devlin got the momentum to carry this through. I think he backed out of that a little bit because he felt maybe a bit of guilt about the contact. But now we'll have a go again on the outside run down to Clervaux. Carroll's still there, covers the inside, but there's a little bit of a gap as they go into Hawthorns, rubbing the curb into Hawthorns now. And in fact, Carroll loses out 2 places, and Jack Smith is all over the back of Charlie Devlin, the new P2 man.
Charlie and Jack, who seem to be in a league of their own these couple races, they don't seem to be fazed by anyone. They've been finding every opportunity to overtake, and they've been battling throughout all of it. I think they've definitely earned the podiums that they have gotten in these couple races. I don't see how they can't be challenging for the win in this case, especially since they are quickly closing in on Paul. I think it'll be battles right towards the end if all goes well, and we'll see how they can battle while trying to get the overtake on Paul, which I feel like will be a very interesting sight to see.
It is going to be interesting, isn't it? Whether they'll they don't need to work together to close in on Paul Laramie out front, do they? But this could be an opportunity for Jack Smith, because, or is it? Because it could be that Charlie Devlin's going to place the car somewhere where Jack can nip up the inside. So we've got the unusual position here of Charlie. Now he's in front. That's not an unusual position. I was going to say the unusual one was that he was going to be attacking and defending at the same time, but he doesn't do that for very long, because Charlie now gets the fastest lap as well. But now that changes to Thomas Potter as Paul Laramie has a go back. Jack Smith tries to dive down the inside here. Jack will be keen to get past Paul Laramie as quickly as possible and not allow Charlie Devlin to get away. Slides the car through the exit of Hawthorn and up into the chicane. Goes through into P2. Andy Carroll straight lines the chicane with Thomas Potter in pursuit. Oliver Gibson next up from Callum Enstone, who's having a good, strong opening set of laps. Christian Gillian up into the, still in the top 10, I should say, with Alex Forster in 10th place, having a good run as well at the moment. Having a look at the other runners, Daniel Heaps was 11th, I think is still 11th at the moment. Hayden Cook down in 19th position. But Charlie Devlin and Jack Smith set to renew battle. Somebody was getting a little bit of a push and a bit sideways there as we changed shots, and we'll try and pick up and see who that was for you. But Mystery Machine out front, and the DK Powerman in P2. Is he going to be able to close down? Fastest lap still with Thomas Potter, who we shouldn't discount as well. Thomas back in 4th place at the moment. Paul Laramie still in 3rd. So Thomas looking for a double podium, and also looking to try and close in on the leaders. And of course, if the leaders slow each other up, as they did in race number 2, we could well see Thomas Potter joining in for the battle for the lead. Now he's got past Paul Laramie. He's just nipped down the inside there.
Thomas has shown a lot of pace throughout this weekend. I feel like he's only gone and gotten faster as the weekend has progressed. He might be able to catch up to the back of Jack and Charlie towards the end of this race. I've got a strong feeling that Thomas will be in the mix for a higher position than 3rd, but he has definitely shown a lot of strong pace throughout this evening. I don't know where it came from, but it feels like the progression from the first race to the 3rd race has been phenomenal for him. I think the amount of speed he's gained throughout the weekend has been ecstatic, and he's only getting faster as time goes on.
Yeah, he's doing well, isn't he? And so too is Jack Smith. So too is Charlie Devlin. Side by side they go. Smith looks up the inside. They clatter again, and Devlin gets it all sideways, but collects it up again. I think Jack Smith again just getting off the gas a little bit to allow for what he might have thought was a little bit of an error. And this is bringing Potter into the mix now. So Tom's very much in the game, as it were. In 3rd place, there's a turnaround behind. That is Andy Carroll, who gets into a little bit of a skirmish perhaps with Ollie Gibson in 5th place. So Carroll drops down the order, and we've got our top 3 all in shot. Jack Smith ready to perhaps have another go. But it's Charlie Devlin who again throws the car, the Mystery Machine, into the hairpin as they will tick off the half. And that's gone so, this evening has gone so quickly. I've got to say, we're halfway through race 3 already. Potter still with fastest lap. To be fair to the other 2 drivers out front, Charlie Devlin and Jack Smith haven't had clear, unencumbered track time in race 1. They've had to work in race 3. They had to work their way through, and they've had to dice with each other. Thomas Potter's had the clear track, as we get Oliver Gibson challenging Paul Laramie now for 4th place. So Ollie's going to have a look as they go through the chicane. Can't quite go through. Alex Forster is next up in 6th position. Alex was 10th in race number 1 and 9th in race number 2. So Alex has been a consistent top 10 runner, and contact between Gibson and Laramie, and Forster sees that and goes through. Paul Laramie on the grass, and we'll get going again. So any of the judicials over a certain contact speed get looked at tomorrow. They're all recorded and all looked at. As talking of contact, we go back to the race leaders now, and Jack Smith starts to have another look. Side by side with Charlie Devlin out front. Devlin running a little bit wide there, and Jack will try and go up the inside again. He's mindful that he's got to make the move cleanly. He won't bash and then go past. He'll want to try and do it as cleanly as possible. As Thomas Potter now joins in. Again, huge sideways moment there for the Mystery Machine. And Jack looking around the outside here. Thomas Potter could slot in and pick the faster of the 2 cars to maybe get up into P2. Potter watching this one. We know he's got Trackcraft, and we're about to see Thomas Potter's Racecraft as well. Still beaming, as you heard in the Race 1 interview, from his Fiesta Junior testing with Max Coates up at Blyton. I've got to say grateful thanks to Max Coates for getting me involved in the sim commentary in the first place. And Max surely knows his way around Blyton. Had a couple of fast laps with him in various cars over the years there. Very good to be around his Max Coates. Of course, racing in Porsche Carrera Cup Great Britain this year with 2 race wins from the Pro-Am category, which was superb. This is Max home track as well, is Croft. Here's the battle for the lead again, and of course they're still side by side, and coming into Tower Corner, which is a possible overtake. There's a little bit of a clatter between the pair of them, not running as wide, not as drifty as they were on the previous laps. And it's still Charlie Devlin there at the moment. Thomas Potter maybe just having a look and keeping a watching brief, but there could be an opportunity for Potter to go down the inside now because there's a very sideways Jack Smith. Potter can't quite get there though, but he's watching. He's going to try and tee up the inside run now. Thomas Potter and Jack Smith, now if they engage in battle, this could be a little bit of an early Christmas present for Charlie Devlin. Second and third engage, and Charlie Devlin could use this as an opportunity to get away here, Lewis.
Yeah, I feel like Charlie's got all the right scenario for him. I feel like he's finally shaken off Jack, and Jack's now under threat by Thomas. So if Charlie can make the most of this, which it seems like Jack has quickly regained a little bit of ground on Charlie, he should be able to eke out that gap ever so slightly, especially if Thomas keeps on Jack's tail. But by the looks of things, Jack's being able to eke him out. But Jack and Charlie they're very different in the way they drive, especially this evening. It feels like Charlie's got the better defense of the two, but it feels like Jack's got the slightly better pace, which it kind of neutralizes each other, which means they just don't really get past each other often, especially when Charlie is leading, because they both have brilliant car placement and they just know where to drive and when. I think it's probably some of the best online racing I've ever watched.
That's good to hear. Thank you for that, Lewis. I agree with you. It's absolutely superb. Jack Smith could do without Thomas Potter getting involved with him. I wonder if you knew you had a longer race, would you let Thomas go through and take his turn to have a go at the race leader? That might be a race tactic, but at the moment they're not really close enough to be able to do that. And Jack may be in that part of the race that you get with longer races where you have a little bit of a stab, you have a little bit of a play, and then there comes, not that you're taking a breather as a driver, but just that the race doesn't flow to you for a while, and there are a few laps when you're just a little bit down and then start to close in again, which it looks, mainly because they're coming into the complex, as things are closing up again. So this could be Jack starting to build a little bit of momentum, thinking, yep, Thomas has got closer, he hasn't been able to get close to me, and now mentally I can focus on the race leader again. It is Devlin that will lead across the line again. Potter still with the fastest lap. All of these three have now had some clear traffic laps or clear track laps. So I'm surprised that we haven't seen... Oh, Jack Smith's now got the fastest lap. I was about to say I was surprised that Charlie or Jack hadn't managed to bang in a faster lap, but Jack has just done that, and that's the curse of the commentator for you. So Jack up into... still in P2, but with that fastest lap, whether he's got a readout to tell him that he's done that or not, that will buoy him, and he will try and take the battle to Charlie Devlin. But as we've seen before, Charlie Devlin, absolutely brilliant, as you rightly said, Lewis, at placing the car exactly where it needs to be and defending. And even if Jack got his nose inside, he's still happy to hang on to the outside run and get the lead back.
Well, it seems like Jack is playing quite a bit of mind games, because he made a mistake, and it felt like he hasn't been able to really gain ground on Charlie. But then a couple laps later, he's been able to set the fastest lap. So I think Jack is doing a really good job at getting with Charlie and keeping on him, but almost giving him a false sense of safety, because Charlie's been able to keep that gap around 2.5 tenths. But it feels like when Jack finds the opportunity and has eased back into the car after the mistake, he's just been a rocket, and it's almost as if he's trying to almost give Charlie that false sense of hope that he's got a little bit more speed, because by the looks of things, Charlie's really having to resort to throwing the car into the corners, while Jack is keeping the tyres a bit more planted than Charlie is, which is helping him get the upper hand coming into these last couple of laps.
Well, here we are, as you say, into the last two laps now, lap 11 of 12, and Jack Smith is building up again, but he might need more than 2 laps to be able to deal with Charlie Devlin. He's trying to get in touch with him now. They're technically not allowed to bump draft in this racing, and How that works virtually or not, I don't know. But he's getting very, very close indeed as they run up towards Tower, and he's going for the outside run. He's going to try and hang it round the outside. It is doable in several sorts of cars. There's a little bit of a clatter again, and Charlie Devlin, look at that, giving him room. This is great racing from Devlin and Smith. He could have forced him off the track, but he didn't. This is, again, really good, clean, fair stuff from the pair of them, still side by side. So, how is this going to pay out? Well, Jack Smith trying to get around the outside line, can't do it. He's going to look for an inside run once again as they head down towards Sunny for the penultimate time. And here we come. It is Charlie Devlin who has soaked up so much pressure. It is absolutely key for a driver to be a good attacking driver, but equally, you'll know a true champion by the way they defend. There's a gap here, and Jack Smith looks down the inside. Is he going to be in the right place as they exit the complex now? This is the last corner on the complex. They'll run down into the hairpin very shortly. Has he got that inside run now? He might be able to get it. This is what he was looking for. This is what he was telling us on the interview. Are we going to see the cutback though from Charlie Devlin? Jack Smith goes through. We look in the mirrors and we look to the side. Here comes Devlin. The mystery machine is in the shot and comes through on the left-hand side, gets the run. Is he going to get the momentum to go down into Clervaux on the last lap? Smith's got the inside run into Clervaux. They're still side by side. They clatter. They're coming up to Hawthorns, and it's Devlin with his nose back in front. He's trying to go around the outside, gets a little bit of opposite look. Thomas Potter coming up to play as well. Here they come, into the chicane, out of the chicane, and Devlin's back in the lead.
Wow, it feels like Jack took all the chances he could there, but it feels like once again Charlie's really tight, getting all the grip. And here's Thomas.
Thomas Potter's through. Potter's got into the lead. Smith into second place. A little bit of contact. Potter goes wide. And sorry to cut across you, Lewis, but Potter got into the lead with Jack Smith and Charlie Devlin going side by side. And Devlin now, look at that lovely wide run from Devlin here. He's got so much momentum as they come out of Barcroft. He's going to have a look down the inside. Jack Smith is not even thinking about defending this. He wants to get back on terms with Potter and all the work that he did. Devlin now throws the car down the inside, finds the line here as they come out of Sunny out. They're going to head down towards the complex side by side. Thomas Potter in the lead. Is Potter going to get the win here? It is Potter in the lead side by side for second and third place. And it's Jack Smith on the outside run here, which will convert to the inside as they come down into the hairpin. He might have enough of an advantage as they come out of the hairpin and run down towards the straight. But look at that very quick cut back there by Charlie Devlin. It's all about the run to the flag. Thomas Potter pinches the win as he goes through on the last lap. Potter wins it. Jack Smith gets second, and Charlie Devlin tried everything to get back into P2. But it was Jack Smith that held on. A superb race, and now top three in the championship, showing us why they are just that. Potter, Smith with a triple podium over the course of the evening, I think will mean he's probably the overall round winner. But Jack Smith in P2 from Thomas Potter, the race winner, and Charlie Devlin, a superb drive again into third position. And that win, as I say, is not far away. We take nothing away from Alex Forster, who's in a superb evening and finishes up in fourth place, as we get Aidan Ingram having a little straight-on moment there. Scott Bugner was fifth. He's been consistent again from Oliver Gibson and Daniel Heaps in seventh. Daniel came through well. Christian Gillian in eighth. From Cat Potter in ninth. Good racing from Cat. Andy Carroll 10th. Kian Haig 11th. From Paul Laramie, Chris Blakey, Harry Irvin, then Callum Enstone, Caden Cook and Jack Dickerson. Mega racing, and we will catch up with our top three and our driver of the round in just a minute or so. Welcome back, everyone. We need those little breathers, don't you, with Legends Cars Racing? Superb action from the official Scottish Legends Cars Championship Esports Series with Virtual Reality Racing Club. Again, I'm going to do things slightly different. I think we normally save our driver of the round for the end, but I'm going to bring him in as sort of our extra step on the podium. Hopefully, if he's ready to have a chat, and it might be a surprise, but he's probably wondering why he's in the virtual comms booth. Alex Foster, fourth in that race. Congratulations on winning our driver of the round, Alex. How are you?
Oh, I am calm now after a chaotic race there. Can't believe I actually stayed fourth for all of that then.
Well, yeah, we didn't get to see a lot of you because obviously the top three were having their battle, or top two, and then it became top three. But I was really impressed, as was Lewis Green, my co-commentator, about, you know, two really good consistent heats, which placed you quite a way back on the grid, and then you came through and, you know, fourth place in the final. So a super result. You know, it is about championship points at the end of the day, but driver of the round, we have to try and make sure that we're covering great drives from other drivers. And it's been a while since I've spoken to you on VRRC, but I think since I did, you've been doing a bit of real world racing as well.
Yes, that has been, yeah, I've been doing some real life racing, just getting used to everything with the car, getting used to how it all feels, just getting confident and burn that bravery to just push the limit more.
And your dad, I got some pictures of your dad racing in Legends at Pembrey, I think, from years ago. He had car 93, didn't he, your dad?
Yes, car 93, I'm pretty sure that is correct, yeah. Yeah, he did that for quite a while.
Has he still got the car, or has he moved it on?
No, he no longer has the Legend anymore. I'm already taken over the racing aspect now, and he's helping me out through the way, giving me tips along the way.
Oh, that's good. He's obviously teaching you well, Alex. So that's good. We might have to get you in a Legends car at some point. I think he quite enjoyed it. But that was a cracking race, and you sounded surprised about staying in fourth, and there was no sort of hanging on to it. It was race 4 and got. So well done.
Thank you very much. Just to keeping concentrated and just nailing every braking point, every corner, just to try and stay fourth. Was not expecting to come fourth at all after my last two heats. I was expecting to come 7th or 8th again.
Oh no, it's a really good eve, not just consistent but fast. So well done on getting our driver of the round, Alex, and we look forward to seeing you next week on Anglesey.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we might even get a podium if another miracle happens.
It won't be a miracle. It'll be through good effort. Well done, Alex Forster. So yeah, well done, Alex. Great to speak to Alex Forster again. It was a really good drive. Equally, we had some great driving there on our podium. So let's have a quick word with Charlie, who finished in 3rd place. Charlie Devlin. You know, incredible racing, and just talk us through from your words, your point of view.
Yeah, good racing with Jackie again. Managed to get to the front quite quickly. Yeah, just quite annoyed with myself, really. Could have, well, won that if I maybe used my brain a little bit more. Made a mistake going on, I think it was going through the fast chicane on the last lap, and I just got a really poor run through, and that just let Jack and Thomas absolutely come past. And then yeah, from there Jack obviously had the slipstream off Thomas, so it made life extremely difficult to overtake. So yeah, I'll take 3rd again. Yeah, it is what it is, but
do you know what?
More points.
Yeah, and yeah, never mind a mistake. I mean, just the racing that you did, the defence that you did. And I made the comment in the closing stages of that one. A great racing driver is quick, and a great racing driver can overtake, but a brilliant racing driver can defend as well. And we've seen that lap after lap from you this weekend, and you know what we've seen is a complete package from you. I mean, really impressive stuff, and you're going to have the odd error here or there. You know, that's going to happen, particularly when you've got 2 cars in your mirror. So I know you're kicking yourself in your mistake, and that's how you learn. But you know, absolutely superb job. So you know, really well done. And you must be looking forward to getting out on track again with Thomas and Jack, and maybe Alex Forster, because you know he's had some pace as well. Several of the other lads have as well this evening. Yeah,
I'm excited for what the rest of the season brings. Obviously, Legends Race is unpredictable. It's always spicy. There's always action wherever you look in the field. So, yeah, I think it's some of the best racing in the country.
What do you do the rest of the week? Are you on the sim all the time? And I remember having a conversation with Lewis Stannard, who won our official mini championship a couple of months ago, and Lewis was saying to me after one of the races, he said, I'm a bit simmed out now. He said, and I said, well, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to go back on the sim, but in a different car. So what motivates you away from the Legends sim? Is it all sim racing, or do you do anything else?
It is just racing altogether, so I do quite a lot of stuff. Later this week on Thursday, I've got another E-Series that I'm doing. Also this weekend with me and some of my friends are doing the Daytona 24 hour on iRacing in the LMP2. So yeah, it's been a hectic week. Obviously, again next week we've got this and the other E-Series. Then the week after that, I've got the Britcar MSUK 24 hour around Silverstone in the GT4 car as well. So yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff that I do. Quite different varies of car, different driving styles, and yeah, I just love sim racing altogether and racing in real life.
Oh, that's good. What do you do, sort of work or studies wise?
So at the minute I'm at college over at I live down south, east of Essex. So I currently go to Stansted Airport College doing level 3 aeronautical engineering. So that's
cool.
Sort of Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. So Monday and Tuesday I sort of do self-studies, sort of homework and stuff like that. Then I obviously do some sim racing stuff on the side as well.
That's good. Well, yeah, keep up the work. Obviously, you need to do both. I guess you want to be a pro driver, but yeah, keep up the engineering side of it. I mean, that's so valuable for you in whatever you do. Have you spoken to any of? There's a couple of aero guys, isn't there, in the Legends Championship as well in the RAF?
Is there now?
Yeah. The names have gone out of the top of my head, but a couple of the national guys. There's one guy. It'll come up in the chat. Name's gone. I've got so many names buzzing around my head this evening. But yeah, there's some guys that we probably need to get you to chat to in there. But well done, mate. Thanks for entertaining us over the 3 races, and very well done. That win is not far away for sure. It's not just a platitude. It's going to happen. Maybe on Anglesey next week.
Hopefully so. I think Angleseys a bit of a difficult circuit in a way. I think it's got quite a big range of corners, and I think it's quite an underrated circuit. It's not a track that I've done lots of laps around, I'll be honest. I'm kind of, yeah, that's going to be a difficult one, I think. Obviously, we go to that twice, so yeah, I'm going to need to get a bit of practice for that, I think.
Yeah, they're both good. They're both good tracks, and have been used by the championship on different occasions. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. But Charlie Devlin, 3 great races. Well done, mate. Thanks ever so much for joining us. And regards to everyone that is in and around your sort of world of Legends. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. Very well done, mate. Second position goes to Jack Smith. So Jack, you couldn't have written the script for that one, could you? Well, you could have done. But there would have been several different endings.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have guessed who would win that, really, could you? So, yeah, that was quality. I was still laughing to myself near the end of that race. I was like, I have no idea who's going to win this. But yeah, no, Thomas got ahead of us at the hairpin, and I had Charlie in it alongside me, and I was just like, I need to focus on one of them, and I focus on Charlie, just make sure I finished in front of him. He's closest to me in the championship at the minute, so yeah, just points damage limitation, I think, at this rate already in the championship. So yeah,
but you need to worry about Thomas now as well, don't you? So
yeah, obviously Thomas coming back through. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd done the damage limitation on the 2 races before to afford him winning that one. So yeah, in my head it made sense at the time. I was just like, I'll focus on Charlie, just make sure I finish ahead of him. We got that on the line, so yeah, it was quality. I just managed to get that inside on that left-hander coming out of it, and I was buzzing. I was like, right, we got it. I just had to pray I had a good exit, and yeah, got my foot down and we did it. So yeah, super happy.
The comment I made to Charlie, I think it was after race 2, was it was after race 2 because we didn't interview him on one. Was that, you know, should you and Jack not work together, and then you know you could have closed in on Daniel in race 2, and you know you could have got away here and then squabble it out on the last lap. But in the real world, I guess there might be a little bit of that, because you would see the driver in front maybe gesticulating to go, and that you see that happening in Legends. Drivers will work together, sometimes not in different teams. But is that a chat you need to have with Thomas, or is it a chat that you need to have with Charlie now to, you know, you're both going to come through quickly? Do you work together and then squabble it out at the end separately and clear?
I mean, me and Charlie both had the same mindset. I was listening to his interview, and we literally had the exact same mindset of when we had a battle. I was looking at the gap to Daniel, and I was looking at his lap times. I was like, we're not going to make it towards the end of the race. So I just sent a move on him, and he must have expected it as well, because I realised he was defending it. So I was like, oh, okay. So we're on the same page. But yeah, no, I think in that second race we would have got close to Dan, and then I think we would have run out of time. And yeah, I think it would have been close on the line, but I don't think we would have had the pace to catch Daniel. He was on a different level. I don't know where that pace had come from Daniel, but he was quality today. So
he's going to be well suited to these cars if he can get out one at Mondello. That will be. So my dream with Legends cars, it's not going to happen now because they're all different. They're all slightly different. You know, like the Nationals run a slightly different. I think they run a different tyre and so on and so forth. But the dream was that we would have. Many years ago, we were saying we should have a Three Nations Championship. You know, sort of have a Grand Prix series with a round in Ireland, a round in England, and a round in Scotland, and have the best drivers from each of the championships, because they are all quality. You know, all the Scottish drivers like Ben Mason and Stuart Black. He's won it many times. And I was talking about Carol Brown earlier on, Ross Marshall. I mean, all quality drivers. And it would be great to have a shootout. Maybe it will happen in the future. And you can do it. You can go out and race these things in the States, which we haven't spoken about. The World Championships happen in America. So you can go out and you know, race against, and the Finnish drivers. I think the Finns have won it a couple of times, but generally the Americans win it on their home turf. But we need to get the Americans to come over here and have a world final. Point I was getting around to make it ultimately was when you got such close racing, I thought that was as clean as it could be, given how close you both were. And both you and Charlie, when you were on the inside, weren't forcing each other off. I mean, a wheel over the curbs here and there, but you were pretty much giving each other room.
Yeah, I like to make contact anyway, shape or form, really. If I do make contact and I feel I've gained the advantage, I just give it back. There was one point where I think we were side by side and I hit a curb and Charlie got pushed off into the part of the gravel where it slows you down. I just let him pass because I don't really like winning like that. So yeah, I always like to have a nice clean battle, and I think it's way better for the stream if there's no like contact or anything like that, and it's easier for Rich at the end of the day. So always thinking of Rich. But yeah, we won't talk about your moving practice.
We kind of need to get you guys. You need to get Jack Smith, Charlie Devlin, and Thomas Potter to go and get that £10,000 off of the Fun Cup organisers for race winners on their debut.
Yeah, 100%. That'll be
we need to go. We need to work towards that. I think with you three guys, we can find a way to do it. It'll be a mega challenge, you know, and do what Jake Hill couldn't do. Win the 10 grand, because I think you guys could do it. I really do. Give you some circuit experience. Yeah, I think that can happen. But anyway, super driving, mate. Triple podium, so decent points again. And onwards to Anglesey. I know you usually like to do a shout out before we finish.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing it up. Just a quick shout out to my family, my mum, stepdad, my dad and my stepmum, my girlfriend as well. We just had a nice weekend away near Anglesey actually. So yeah, maybe I've got some laps in. We'll tap snows. But no, it was a quality weekend with her, and celebrating my birthday, which was last week. So yeah, had a very fun time there, and shout out to everyone with DK Power, Sherman Rubber, T Centre. Shout out to my own driving school as well, Jack's Racing School. If you want coaching, I'm your man. And yeah, the Hop Camelot, and everyone else associated with DK Power. It's been a pleasure to race in this series. It's a lot of fun, and I'm sure I can't wait to watch this race back on YouTube later.
I hope you enjoy it. Well done, Jack Smith, on P2 to add to the win that you had earlier on, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
If he hasn't fallen asleep yet, it'll be Thomas Potter. You're probably still buzzing, because I know it's a lot of adrenaline, isn't it, when you're out in a car for real. The limited number of times I've been in a race car for real, I know I don't sleep the night afterwards, because it does get you going, doesn't it? But Thomas, that was a very opportune move that you put on. Tell us about your race 3.
So I mean, I don't think I can even fall asleep tonight after being in my car and doing that amazing race. To be honest, I was like I don't know what it was, what I did with my tyres, but they didn't have a grip at all through the race. It just didn't kick in. So I was like, let's not overtake Jack, because I know he'll probably end up gaining on Charlie again. Then I let them battle. Then it ended up coming to me on my last lap, on my last big overtaking opportunity as well, which sounds weird coming it so early into the lap, but it worked out for me. Went from being third to first in the space of about 5 seconds, which was pretty incredible. And I was basically, then I was like, Jack, please defend Charlie and don't go for me, which he ended up doing, so thanks for that.
I don't know if any of the Fiesta Junior people have been watching, but that would be a wake-up call to a few of them, seeing you do that over the course. And sorry, I should have led into the interview saying congratulations on the win, so I'll do that now. Congratulations on the win. It wraps up a nice day for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think this day could have done any better, to be honest with you. We've done, loads of track time, obviously, around Brighton Park in the Fiesta, which is, apart from the 20 minutes I did in the Genetic Scholarship, that is the first proper driving around it, around that layout at least, which is pretty incredible. Then to jump, as soon as I get home, I was halfway through official practice, so jumped on, did a couple hours, went in briefing, did a couple more, then went straight into a race, and yeah, ended up getting 2 podiums, pretty sure, yeah, so couldn't have done much better.
That's good. Any shout outs for the end of day?
Yeah, well, first of all, happy late birthday to you, Jack, and as well as that, thanks to everyone on my car, KTM U5 Moser, 22 Law, Maron, Aegon by ALC, GT Amiga, and obviously the charities Ben Automotive and the Ollie Foundation. And a shout out to, Thomas Harper and Andrew Harper let me borrow a car, and a massive shout out to Max Coates for being such an amazing instructor, where he's probably, just as, I would say tired, but I'm not really tired because, but he's never been out of that Fiesta all day, to be honest with you, and in the soak and wet, so thanks to him, and obviously thanks to Rich Hayden for hosting it, and Steve for doing the broadcast, and these 2 amazing commentators.
Thank you for that. We appreciate that. It's you guys that deliver on track. That's the only thing we can do, really, is sort of crack on with that. So I'll say well done, Thomas. Enjoy your week, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Absolutely, thank you.
So there we go. That completes our extended podium interview with the man who finished 4th, driver of the round, Alex Forster, who maintained 7th position in the championship. Thought he might have climbed a little bit higher up, but he certainly strengthened that 7th position in the table at the moment. Of course, the drop scores won't really start to bite until next week, but unsurprisingly, the championship headed by Jack Smith from Charlie Devlin, and a real pleasure to have commentated with Lewis Green. Lewis, thanks for helping this weekend, and can't wait to read all about and watch what you're up to in the BMW, isn't it, that you're going to be moving into?
Yeah, the 116. I can't wait for it. It's going to be brilliant. I mean, I never thought I'd ever do commentary, but this opportunity, I couldn't help jump on it, and I feel like I made the most of it that I could. It was a brilliant experience, especially with such good racing on this evening. I didn't expect to have such an entertaining Tuesday night watching some talented drivers, especially since they're all older than myself. I find it very inspirational watching these people do so well.
Top man, Lewis. Well, if you get your sim rig, come and have a race with us at some point as well. That would be good. But thank you for joining us, and well done on your performance at the Janetta Scholarship. Pleasure to meet you there, and I hope that we get to do something together in the future as well. And best wishes to your family too.
Yeah, you too. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure doing this. If I ever get the next opportunity, I'll jump straight on it. This was absolutely brilliant, and thank you all for the opportunity to do this evening.
You're very, very, very welcome. So there we go. Next week, as you saw from the graphic, we are on the international layout at Anglesey. It's a great track. It's used by all sorts of teams. You'll see Formula 3 teams testing there. It's a great track, and if you haven't experienced it either for real or on the sim, we're in for a treat next week with the Legends cars racing there. The Scottish Legends have had several away days there, and they have got another one with us next week. So that's it for now. From myself, Richard John Neal, my coach Green, a big thank you to Lewis again, and to Steve, our director, Rich Hayden, and all the team for putting it together. Be nice to each other over the rest of the week, and we'll see you in a week's time on Anglesey. Bye for now.
Tilton!
The inside of Coates.
Parker gets too heavily involved.
And that's Whitehead and Coates.